Hello and welcome to the Sci-Fi Christian. I'm Ben DeBono.
And I'm Ben Kirkwald.
And we're talking about Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 5, The Door. Maybe we should say, Hold the Door.
Hold the door! Hold the door!
That's right, this episode is all about manners. But we'll get to all of that. We'll get to all of that.
In good time.
We're just smoking our usuals tonight.
Right, I got red cake tonight.
I've got the classic Cavendish almost out, so maybe I'll have to... You're not going to be here next week. I'll use it up in the next 2 weeks and swing by Tobacco Grove and get us something new so we don't have to just
when you're going, we should go together.
Yeah, there you go.
2 miles away from my house.
That's true. And you're going to need some stuff to do here once school's out in a couple weeks.
That's very true. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. And then we're drinking. Never had this before. It's from Brent Bruce Distillery, which I've liked some of their beers. It's a local one here in Minnesota. Have you ever had any Brent Bruce Distillery?
Never. Where's it out of?
I think they're in Roseville.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Like that close.
Yeah, they're really close. This is their Brewers Experimental Series. And this is called a London Export Double Brown Stout. I'm not sure how that works, because stouts, by definition, are more black than brown.
Right, which makes me... And double brown makes me super concerned, but...
Yeah, well, for double in the name, it's only 7.7%.
Oh.
It is bottled 43 out of 400, so that was kind of cool. That kind of leaned me towards buying it, so anytime you get a numbered bottle, that's always sort of fun. Unless it sucks. So, let's just pop this baby.
Didn't froth over, so far so good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how you pour that way.
It's what the book said to do.
Well, I also don't like that much head.
I understand.
Alright. See, this is... Well, no, it's more of a brown.
Yeah.
It's a very...
It's a dark brown, though. They're pushing it with the brown part. But yes, lighter...
though. It smells like a brown ale.
That's true. I like it.
I haven't gotten there. My head's too big.
That's really good.
It's creamy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would describe it. Like a creamy brown ale. So a little more stout to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's
no,
different.
they made a believer out of me. This is it is a brown stout.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
No.
No, yeah.
That seemed like a contradiction in terms, but no, this is if you poured a brown ale and a stout together in a bottle,
this is what you get.
And it's good.
It is good. I've always been, you know that I've always liked brown ales.
Yeah.
So this is...
Oh, yeah. You've had Bell's brown ale, probably.
Yeah, I've had all of them.
That's so good.
Amazing. This is...
This might be the best beer we've had yet this season.
That's very true.
It's kind of like we were talking about last time. I don't like that overpowering stoutiness. And the brown ale tampers that and get that creamy flavor really...
Yeah.
Kind of helps.
But not overly malty either, which is nice.
I might have to go get a second bottle out of 400. I've got 43, only 399 to go, and I got the set.
Get like $3.99.
That'd be
I don't know
cool.
if I'd want the bottom of the barrel though. I think I'd want a middle number.
That's true.
Well, I'm probably could be
well,
picky with
400.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, bottle 400, just all sediment or something.
Right? That's
pour
what
out the last time in your keg. All right. Interesting episode tonight. A lot of positioning pieces, though in some more or less interesting ways. Right. And then the ending. So we will not start with the ending, of course. We'll start at the beginning. Sansa and Littlefinger had their reunion. That was pretty great.
Yeah, that was great. I think Littlefinger, for the first time, and we'll see with Varys a little bit later, this is the first time where I think power is not necessarily completely in their hands. Now, Littlefinger, I feel like still has plenty of power in this, and he knows exactly what to say. Sansa's still naive enough to believe it, and...
So you think Littlefinger's lying?
I think there's a possibility that there's nothing happening at River Run. He's just trying to draw the North out to...
Oh, well, that could... I hadn't thought of that part. I was thinking
because if they're riding to River Run, right, or they're riding south, and now we have the Vale that's riding north, it could be seen as like a... Oh, they're trying to take away the houses that truly belong to the Vale, and the whole thing there. I don't know. I feel like he knows what he's doing, and he knew that this conversation was going to happen, and it probably happened about how he thought it would happen. He was aware that... I'm sure he was aware that he was going to have a death threat and all of that.
See, I bet you that Brynden Tully it's all true. And that's how we're going to get the phrase back into it. Because I'm convinced the phrase should come back into it. Given the phrase reactions we've seen in the past.
Isn't that weird that we're about to root for the phrase?
Yeah, exactly.
Who would have thought we would ever come full circle?
Hey, you've got Brienne and the Red Priestess sitting in the same room. Weird things happen on this show. But I guess when I said, do you believe Littlefinger, do you believe what he said about not knowing about Ramsay?
No, not for 1 second.
I kind of did. And that's really dumb because it's Littlefinger and we should never believe any... I'm pulling a Ned Stark here, but it doesn't matter because he can't stab me in the back.
Do you think he's playing such a big game that small piece of the game didn't matter to him? Is that why you think he didn't believe?
Yeah, I think that, he knew the Boltons are the Boltons, and he knew... But he doesn't, know every one of these characters individually, and I think he knew, yeah, she's going to go marry the Boltons, it's not going to be pleasant, I'm going to get out of her, but I don't think... Because he genuinely has affection for Sansa.
Right. He didn't know that it was going to be quite that.
Yeah, I think it went farther than he thought it was going to go.
Right.
By a long shot.
But if it truly was that way, then I feel like he would be... Well, I guess he did make up for it a little bit when he was talking about, here, I'll give you this piece of information to help you and your people while I position my people.
That's true. I mean, he definitely wasn't looking out for Sansa's best interest when he sent her there, but I kind of believe him that he didn't know Ramsay was that psychotic.
Right.
I don't know. But in any case, Sansa was great in that scene. It was great to see her stand up and really take it to him.
Right.
I wrote down best Sansa scene ? Because a lot of, she's not anybody's favorite character really, but that was a great scene. And really one of her finest moments in the show.
Yeah, she really, well, she hasn't had a lot of moments to shine. She's always been the victim.
Exactly.
And it's really hard to shine as a victim, but now she finally has a little bit of power, and, I feel like that is a good thing for her character.
Right. And, I'll say it again, that for everybody who went along with the internet freak out over the Sansa Ramsay rape scene from last season, you need to be patient, and as we're seeing, that wasn't just some random gratuitous thing the show threw in. They're actually using that to advance her character. So, in general, don't go along with internet freakouts. That's a good lesson. Anyway, Arya.
God.
We'll come back to Bran, because there's some more that happened there later. But anyway, yeah, Arya.
I really... In the book so far, I feel like she wants to be no one. She wants to be a part of this group. She wants to be that. She's going to be the Stark that's kind of like different, like the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
But in the show, I have this feeling that it's not working out. I mean, she's got too many questions, and she just doesn't quite believe everything that they believe. I feel like she's either going to get kicked out or run away this season back to Westeros.
They just need to do something with her. She's a great character, but it's getting to be a boring storyline.
Right, we're turning it into... This is the character walking through the woods trying to, whatever. I mean, how many more times are we going to have to see her fight on that square with the
Right.
sticks,
Where
right?
just about everything else, even Dany's storyline feels like it's ramping up.
Mm-hmm.
Hers feels flatlined right now.
Right.
Though, the Lannister play was amazing.
It was so good. And I think...
I want to see the whole show.
just from beginning to end.
Yes, exactly. They
all the way
covered
from,
like a season.
From Rhaegar all the way to Daenerys.
Exactly.
We just need to do the whole...
Exactly.
Yeah, right? I think that scene, her watching that, proved to me that she is still the same girl that was watching it the first time.
She watched that as a Stark, not as no one.
And so, this far along in the process, if you're still watching it as a Stark, you're not going to be no one. Unless something extremely dramatic happens, and I don't feel like it is. I feel like she is a Stark, and this is her way of coming to grips with it, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And then, holy close-up dicks, Batman.
I didn't catch the warts. Did you catch the warts? That wasn't what
I didn't look that close. You can go back and pause if you want. I mean, okay, there's people out there saying the show should have equal amounts male and female nudity. I don't care which side of the fence you swing on, that was not an attractive moment. Like, what? Yeah, that's the angle you're gonna shoot it at? Like, this, it was horrifying. It's horrifying. I was not prepared for that moment.
Just...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was about, those were the highlights of her storyline, I guess. I don't know. I just do something. Either get kicked out, like you said, run away, or kill somebody and get your membership card. I don't really care at this point. Just do something.
Right.
Hey, book readers, we got our last hurrah with the Kingsmoot.
Yeah. Is there anything left from the books now?
Well, we keep saying no, and then they keep finding ways where we still feel involved. We still know about the Tower of Joy, and all you either casual book readers or show watchers don't.
Yeah, no, but I'm still excited about the Tower of Joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kingsmoot. I'm okay with the way that they shortened it. In the books, it takes half of book 4, which is awful. And they brought it down to a 5-6 minute scene there, which was fantastic.
Yeah, the only complaint I have is there was like 24 people there.
It's supposed to be all 3 islands, yeah.
Right.
But
It's a pretty small crowd.
Right. They're also, in Ireland trying to find people to want to dress like...
Right, who wants to go stand out on this island in
for
November.
free, because we don't have money for this.
Exactly. Yara and Theon run away, which is fine.
Book thing?
I don't think so.
She submits to him in the
Well,
book.
no, because all this, the Kingsmoot happens, Kingsmoot happens earlier, and so everything where we saw Yara go to raiding the North and everything in the last season, that all happens after the Kingsmoot. So no, we're in uncharted territory now. With them, and everything here with Euron coming back happens before Daenerys does her whole flyaway thing in Marine, so I don't know how that's going to work out.
Right, but the word
he has the same plan, right?
Yeah,
so kind of at this point we're in the dark, and it's got to play out at least a little different from the books, based on how they shuffled the chronology,
which is fine.
Okay, Dany. Not much going on there. We got a nice scene with her and Jorah.
Finally confesses his love. Yeah, which is nice.
I wanted to stand up and cheer when she said, "When I take the 7 kingdoms." It's like, yeah, remember those things?
Remember what you've been fighting for?
Just don't wait for Jorah to come back. I mean, that was a nice moment. Go find the cure, come back to me, and I want you by my side. Don't wait for him. He's going to go die. You need to just go do your thing.
Hopefully valiantly. Hopefully it's a good death.
Yes. I did really like... I mean, I'm moving kind of fast through this because a lot of it was... There wasn't a lot going on in this episode outside of the end. So stop me if you want to say more about any of these points.
Okay. Right.
Tyrion, though, I really like this. I like that we now have a Red Priestess with both Jon and Dany, We're both claiming they are both Azor Ahai, which is what I think.
Right.
And this is, they're really starting to play up the connections between these two.
Right.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting there. We saw Varys for the first time ever struggle for words.
Right, yeah, somebody got the better of him.
Which, well, when you know apparently the past, present, and future like this Red Priestess does, that will happen, I suppose.
Yeah.
And we did have another... See, this is what bugs me. We had another Stannis reference that he's dead, which means that he's not dead. Right? I mean, this is the third reference now that he's dead, which means that he's not dead.
Right.
Because in the books,
Davos... We had two, because we had one from Brienne and then one from Varys. Brienne referenced it too, yeah.
We had 2 this episode, 3... I mean, it's just... There's been so many references. He's just
remember Stannis?
Right. Yeah, he's dead. Oh, wait. In episode 8, he comes alive and he's going to lead the army.
He'll lead some valiant last sacrifice to kind of redeem himself against Winterfell.
Right.
Or he's really dead and they just really botched his death, which is equally likely. But yeah, I'm excited about the Red Priestess thing. It did seem to come out of nowhere a little bit.
But I like that they're bringing that up on the other side of the world now.
Right.
And it appears that this Red Priestess has just as many abilities as Melisandre does, if not more.
Right.
Seems.
Now, did Tyrion... I remember there was some moment last year where we saw a Red Priest preaching or something in Meereen. Yeah. Was Tyrion there for that?
Yeah, he was sitting on the steps with Varys.
Okay.
And they were watching the Red Priestess talk about...
So, okay, then that works, because that makes sense why he would think of them. Because that was my only quibble, is why does he turn to them? Well, because they're effective propagandizers. But yeah, I'm excited, because remember, boys and girls, the series is not called Game of Thrones, it's called A Song of Ice and Fire. Well, the series is called Game of Thrones, but the books are called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Right.
Your fire is Dany, your ice is Jon, and we're really positioning things in a way that's quite exciting for those of us who've been reading this series for way too long.
Right.
Okay, Jon, Brienne, I wasn't quite sure who was all off to the Riverland, so...
everybody was off.
Everybody.
It looks like everybody's going to go and grab a house, and then everybody's going to meet at Winterfell on such a date.
Right.
It looks like that's going to be the plan here. Jon will probably go to the Karstarks with Sansa, and then everybody else gets to take a minor house, and let's all meet at, Winterfell to take it back and kill Ramsay on May 20th or whatever they decide.
I like the whole Sansa making a Stark dress and then giving the little leather belt thing to Jon. But boy, she's pretty good at perfectly recreating those HBO logos onto the material that she's doing by hand at the wall with no resources.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
She's got skills.
It is amazing. Yeah. They're Starks, so they've earned it. They've earned the right to a nice logo.
Yeah!
Yeah. Alright, should we talk about Bran?
Do we have everybody else?
I think so. Dany, Tyrion, Kingsmoot, Sansa, Jon, Arya.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have anything in King's Landing this week, which I didn't miss it one bit, to be honest. And there's another storyline along with Arya's that needs a little shot in the arm right now. But, yeah, Bran is what everybody's going to be talking about this week.
So excited for this. I had said before, it's just, we have, in the last 5 minutes of the episode, we had more movement on Bran than we have since book 3 or 2 even. I mean, the character just took off from there. We can start with...
we'll start with the first time we saw him, and we get the origin of the White Walkers.
Right, with a random guy that we'll probably not ever learn more about.
He's just a dude.
Just a dude, right?
Yeah.
And so...
The children of the forest made the White Walkers. That's huge.
Right. To help them fight off everybody else. Yeah, all the First Men. And...
That backfired.
The symbol... Well, yeah. But the symbol around that heart tree also is the same symbol that we saw in episode 1 of season 1.
We've seen it a few times.
We've seen it a couple of times, but we for sure saw it then. I can't recall the other times that we've seen it with them.
I think it was sometime around season 2 after there was a big slaughter or something, but I don't know. There was some time...
Oh, yeah, with the horses.
Right, with the horses, yep. There was some time that the White Walkers killed a bunch of people and arranged their bodies that way.
Right.
And so that was cool.
Yeah, that was... I kind of like that throwback to that. That was nice.
And
then we get this time travel thing where now he's so enveloped in the time travel that now people and things can start to interact with Bran.
Yeah, so really two things. But first there's his, not time travel, but space travel to where the Night's King is. Because that seemed like that's happening in present time. Or at least that was my takeaway.
Yeah,
Maybe?
It could have been, yeah.
Because it was the same army.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted it anyway. And the Night's King touches him and then is able to find him at the tree.
Right.
That's big, and so then we get, this big action scene, and you're kind of thinking, okay, what are they going to do here? How are they going to get out of this? Because where I thought they were going to go, and where I'm really glad they didn't, is that Bran, the Three-Eyed Crow, or Three-Eyed Raven, or whatever he is, transfers his powers to Bran, and then Bran's able to and just blow them all up or something like that.
Right.
Which is really satisfying in the moment of the episode, and we'd all be cheering and everything, but then, if you have a character who can then just blow up White Walkers, then you've just ruined the series, because you have to backtrack on that now. So glad they didn't go there. And you're thinking, how are they going to get out of this? Max von Sydow dies. That was a nice run there, Max. Glad to have you. See you another time. And how they got out of this, the way that they escape, is just perfect. Because they run down that hallway, and then I thought, she pulls out the little magic grenade, and you think, okay, it's going to collapse the tunnel. And that's fine. I mean, it's not the most satisfying thing in the world.
Right.
Nope, doesn't collapse the tunnel, just gives them enough space. And then they get through the door and you're thinking, well, that's nice, you're through the door, but how are you going to get away from these people? Hold the door. Oh my gosh!
Right?
Oh!
Yes.
And you're seeing this scene in the courtyard that they keep going back to, and you're thinking, why are we here?
Right.
And then, Ned's dad is looking at him, and if you have to fight, win. It's like, are we really just here for an inspirational pick-me-up? Nope.
We're here for the basis of Hodor.
Oh, that was just heartbreaking.
But it was so good.
Perfect payoff.
And it's just, yeah.
The best payoffs are the ones you don't know you're waiting for.
Right.
I would have been perfectly content if we never found out why Hodor says Hodor.
Right. But we found out why, and it just makes it so much better. And we also know now, then, that not only can Bran time travel, space travel to these different places, but he can also, or people around him, or whatever, he can warg into people in his time travels.
Right.
Which just, there's so many paradoxes there. I hope that George does a better job in the book than they're going to be able to do in the show with it being able to describe
we're getting the Cliff Notes version. Right.
And so hopefully it'll be a little bit more explained because there's so many things that could happen, but hold the door.
That was perfect. It was... And he's dead! Let's not miss the fact Hodor's dead!
Right.
Oh!
Hodor.
It was, and so many things just with his character fall into place, his loyalty to Bran, and it was just perfect.
Right.
Perfect twist.
It all makes sense.
It is hard in today's era of storytelling and television where we're all looking for the twist to pull something like that off. And the only person I feel bad for in it is Martin because he didn't get to deliver his twist. But you know what? That's your own damn fault, George. Write the book.
She did apparently write the book. It's just 1,000,000 pages.
Exactly.
You gotta figure out how to make it 7 books instead of 9.
What if he gets really bitter and just hops on Twitter and starts live tweeting spoilers for whatever we're going to see this next week? Hodor is called Hodor because he holds the door, bitches.
Damn it, George!
Just angry George starts spoiling the story.
Jeez.
I hope he doesn't do that. But yeah, really, you know, an episode where a lot of things still moving into place, but they really delivered on that finale.
Yeah, you know, it was totally... Because I was thinking halfway through this episode, like, another episode like this. We talked about this at the beginning of the season. Like, it's really great that all this stuff happened in episode 2, but if they string us along for 10 episodes like this again...
Right.
But if we're going to get a payoff like that every episode, that's...
And that kind of seems like what they're doing is that, yeah, there still has to be setup. It's not quite going to be as pedal to the metal as maybe we were hoping, but there are storylines that are going to start hitting, and we have moments that have been we've been waiting for that are going to start clicking, and you know, we can look down and we can see several more coming this season, whether it's the Tower of Joy, the Ramsay Jon showdown, you know, maybe something with Dany.
I'm telling you, dragon flying over to Westeros, that's how the season ends.
Right.
Right?
You
We're
know,
halfway through, though.
I know. Anyway, I really love that ending. Made for a great episode. And, yeah I just can't wait to see where we're going from here.
Yeah, Bran's storyline now, I'm super
excited
about.
Totally in. Totally all in.
I think it's going to be good.
Yep. All right, I think that's it then. So until next week for me and 2 weeks for you, I'm Ben DeBono.
I'm Ben Kirkwall.
And this is the Sci-Fi Christian. Goodbye.
I really wish they would stop doing episodes on...
Oh, yeah.
Don't they know that people in the United States